cheto-darpana-marjanam, bhava-maha-davagni-nirvapanam, shreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam, vidyavadhu-jeevanam, आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मास्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनं नाम्नामकारि बहुधा निजसर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पिता नियमितः स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन्ममापि दुर्दैवं ईदृशं इह जानीनानुरागः तृणादपि सुनिचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन कीर्तनया सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनि ईश्वरे भवताद्भक्तिरहितकी त्वयि ऐनन्दतनुज किङ्करं पतितं माम विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजस्थित धूलीसदृशं विचिन्तय नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गदगदरुद्धया गिरा पुलकैर्निचितं वपु कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमिषेण चक्षुषा प्रवर्षायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां विनष्टु मामदर्शनान् मर्मतां करोतु वा यथा तथा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः. So we are today on chapter 4, Madhya Lila, chapter 4, Sri Madhavendra Puri's devotional service. Madhavendra Puri is the guru. He's in the line, he is the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's guru. So he is the spiritual master of Ishwar Puri, and we are going to hear the narration of his devotional service. यस्मै दातुं चोरायान् क्षीरबन्धं गोपीनाथ क्षीरचोरविधो भूत्वा श्रीगोपाल प्रादुरसिद् वश सन् यत्प्रेम्णा तं माधवेन्द्रं नतोऽस्मि. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Madhavendra Puri, who was given a sweet pot of rice stolen by Gopinath. It's a very beautiful story. Celebrated there as Kshirachora. Kshirachora means Gopal or Krishna who stole kheer. Kheer is pudding, rice pudding. So Krishna, basically Gopal, he stole rice pudding for Madhavendra Puri. So we are praying to that Kshirachora Gopal, and we are going to hear the story of Kshirachora Gopal. Being pleased by Madhavendra Puri's love, Sri Gopal, the deity at Govardhan, appeared to the public vision. Bhaktivinoda Thakur annotates that this Gopal deity was originally installed by Vajra, the great grandson of Krishna. Madhavendra Puri rediscovered Gopala and established him on the Govardhan hill. We are going to hear all the stories now. This Gopal deity is still situated at Nathadwara and is under the management of descendants of Vallabhacharya. The worship of deity is very luxurious, and you can go and buy prasadam there by paying a very small price. Jaya Jaya Gaura Chandra Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glory to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Mahaprabhu, Advaita Prabhu, and all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. The Lord went to Jaganath Puri and visited Jagannath's temple. Yesterday he was, you know all the story, he was at Bhattarcharya's home, and then he bid farewell to everybody. Nobody wanted to leave him. There was a full celebration. Mother Sachi had come, and then he bid farewell to all of them, and then he left to Jaganath Puri. So now he's already in Jaganath Puri, and he met Sarvbhaum Bhattarcharya there. All these have been elaborately explained by Vrindavan Thakur. By nature, all of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities are very sweet, and they are like shower of nectar. Here, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I'm just presenting a synopsis because all of them have been already explained in Chaitanya Bhagavat. So he's just going to give some incidents in this book. He offers We offer respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of Vrindavandas Thakur, because he is the one who has recorded all the incidents. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu proceeded toward Jagannath Puri with 4 of his devotees, and on the way he was chanting the glorious name of Krishna with great eagerness. Mahaprabhu went to each and every village and collected a great quantity of rice and other grain for the preparation of prasadam. There were many rivers on the way, and at each river there was a tax collector. They did not hinder the Lord, however, and he showed them mercy. Finally, they reached the village of Remuna. The deity of Gopinath in the temple of Remuna was very attractive. Lord Chaitanya visited the temple and offered his obeisances with great devotion. तानारा पद्म निकट प्रणाम करीते तानरा पुष्प चाड़ा पड़ीला प्रभुर माथा ते चूड़पान महाप्रभुरानंदित मन बहु नित्य गीत कैला लाय भक्त गण. So Mahaprabhu went to the deity of Gopinath and he bowed down. And when he bowed down at the lotus feet of the Lord, the helmet of flowers on the Lord, on the head of Gopinath, fell down and landed on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very ecstatic with this gesture of the flower falling down on his head. And he chanted and he danced with all his devotees. All the devotees present there would be struck by his intense love and, of course, his beauty and his transcendental qualities. And because of their love for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they served him. And that night, Mahaprabhu decided that he wants to stay in this temple of Gopinath. The Lord had a hidden desire. He wanted to eat the prasadam, which is kheer, which is rice pudding, sweet rice pudding. He wanted to eat that sweet rice pudding prasadam, which is served to Gopinath, because he had heard a narration from his spiritual master, Ishwar Puri, of what had happened there. That deity is known as Sri Gopinath. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told his devotees the story of this Sri Gopinath, how he became like this. Formerly, the deity had stolen a pot of sweet rice for Madhavendra Puri. And therefore, he became famous as the Lord who stole sweet rice. Once, Sri Madhavendra Puri traveled to Vrindavan, where he came upon the hill known as Govardhan. Madhavendra Puri was almost mad in his ecstasy of love of Godhead, and he did not know whether it was day or night. Sometimes he stood up, sometimes he fell to the ground. He could not discriminate whether he was in a proper place or not. After circumambulating the hill, Madhavendra Puri went to Govindakund and took his bath. He then sat beneath a tree to take his evening rest. While he was sitting beneath a tree, an unknown cowherd boy came with a pot of milk and placed it before Madhavendra Puri and smiled and then addressed him as follows. So Madhavendra Puri is sitting below a tree in Vrindavan, and a boy just comes with a pot. Gopala balaka eka dugdha bhandalaya asiya Girdhari kichu boliya hasaya. So this boy got this pot with milk and put it in front of Madhavendra Puri. And this young boy is laughing and saying, Puri, ei dugdha laya kara tumi paya, magi kene nahi khao, kiba kara dhyana. He said, Oh Puri, please drink the milk. I have brought it for you. And why don't you go and beg some food? What kind of meditation are you doing? When Madhavendra Puri saw the boy, Balekera Saundaryera, Purira Haila Santosha, Tahara Madhura Vakye Gela Bhokashosha. When the kid is talking so sweetly to him and offering the milk, Madhavendra Puri saw the kid, and just looking at him, he forgot his hunger and thirst completely. Puri kahe ke tumi? Who are you? Kahan tumhara vasa? Where do you live? Ke mate janile ami kari upvasa. How do you know that I am fasting? The kid said, Balak kahe, Gopa ami. Oh, I am just a coward boy. Ei Gramevasi. I live in this village. Amara Gramete kehna rahe upvasi. But let me tell you, in my village, no one fasts. So please drink the milk and eat some food. In this village, a person can beg food from others and thus eat. Some people drink only milk. But if a person does not ask anyone for food, I see that and I supply the eatables. Jalani te stri gana, tomara dekhi gala gela, stri sab dugdha diya, amare pathaila. The women who come here to take water, they saw you. And then they told me, then they gave this milk to me and they bring the milk to you. And the boy continued, I must go very soon now to milk the cows, but I will return and take back this milk pot from you. Saying this, the boy left the place. Indeed, he suddenly could not be seen anymore. And Madhavendra Puri's heart was filled with wonder. After drinking the milk, Madhavendra Puri washed the pot and put it aside, and he looked toward the path. But the boy had vanished. He didn't return. Madhavendra Puri could not sleep. He sat and chanted Krishna mantra, and at the end of the night, he dozed a little and his external activities stopped. In the dream, Madhavendra Puri saw the very same boy. The boy came before him, holding his hand, took him into a bush inside a jungle, and then in the dream, so Madhavendra Puri is lying down thinking of the boy, and the boy comes in his dream and holds his hand and takes him into a jungle, and there is a big bush over there. And the boy said, कुंज देखाया कहे आमी एई कुंजराई सीता वृष्टि वार्ताग्नि ते महादुख पाई. The boy said in the dream to Madhavendra Puri, in this jungle, see, look, I live here in this bush and I am greatly suffering from severe cold, rain, showers, wind and scorching heat. And in the dream, the boy is saying again, please bring the people of the village and get them to take me out of this bush and then have them situate me nicely on the top of the hill. Please construct a temple on the top of the hill. The boy continued, and install me in that temple. After this, wash me with great quantities of cold water so that my body will be cleaned. बहुदिन तोमार पथ करी निरक्षण कबे आसी माधवामा कबे karibe sevana. And in the dream, the boy is saying, Oh Madhavendra, oh Madhav, I have been waiting for you for so long. When will you come and serve me? Tomara prema vashe kari seva angikara. I have accepted your service, and due to your ecstatic love for me, darshana diya nistariba sakala samsara. Thus, I shall appear, and by my audience, all fallen souls will be delivered. Sri Gopal Naam Mora. My name is Sri Gopal. Govardhan Dari. Some people also call me Govardhan Dari, the one who holds the Govardhan. Vrajera Sthapita Ami Ihu Adhikari. I established the Vraja. I was installed by Vajranab, the grandson of Krishna. So this Gopal deity is lying down in that bush in the jungle, and the young kid who had come to give milk was actually Krishna baby. As a kid he had come, and now he has come in dream, and he's saying, he brought Madhavendra Puri, that Madhavendra, I was very happy with you. I was waiting for you to come and bring me out from this. I was installed by Vajra, but now I'm stuck here. So take me out. I am the authority here. And he is telling the stories also now in the dream. Shaila upari haite ame kunjalo khaya mlecha bhaya sevak mora gela palaya. When the Muslims attacked, the priest who was serving me hid me in this bush in the jungle, and then he ran away out of the fear of the attack. Since the priest ran away, I have been staying in this bush. It is very good that now finally you have come. Please remove me from this bush. And after saying this, the boy disappeared. Madhavendra Puri woke up and then he started thinking about the dream and joined the dots. And then he began to lament. Oh my God, I saw Krishna directly. He had come to give me milk. Oh my God, I didn't recognize him. And then he fell down in ecstatic love and then cried for some time. But then he fixed his mind and decided to execute the order, and thus he became tranquil. He got up in the morning, took his morning bath, and then entered the village and called all the people, please come. And then he says, this place, Govardhan, the proprietor of this place, Govardhan, is lying inside the bushes. Let us go and rescue him from that place. All the villagers decided to join him. The bushes were dense, so they took some choppers and some spades to clear the way. And after hearing this, all the people accompanied by Madhavendra Puri with great pleasure started cutting down the bushes, cleared the path, and then entered the jungle. And when they did see, and there they really saw that there was this deity. They picked up the deity covered with dirt and grass. They were all struck with wonder and happiness. They all cleaned the body of the deity, and some of them said, oh, the deity is very heavy. No single person can move him. So the stronger persons were called, and all of them lifted the deity and they carried him to the top of the hill as instructed in the dream. Madhavendra Puri also went there, and a big stone was made into a throne, and the deity was installed upon it. Another big stone was placed behind the deity for support. All the Brahmana priests of the village gathered with 9 water pots, and water from Govinda Kunda lake was brought there and filtered. When the deity was being installed, 900 pots of water were brought from the Govinda Kund, and there were musical sounds of bugles, drums, and singing of women. During the festival of the installation ceremony, some people sang and some people danced. All the milk, yogurt, and clarified butter in the village was brought to the festival. Various foods and sweetmeats, as well as other kind of presentations, were also brought there. Krishnadas says, I'm not able to describe all the things that were brought in the installation ceremony. The villagers brought lot of tulsi leaves, manjaris, flowers, and various kinds of garment for this Gopala deity. Sri Madhavendra Puri personally did the Abhishek ceremony, the bathing ceremony. After all inauspicious things were driven away by chanting of the mantra, the deity's bathing ceremony started. First, the deity was massaged with a large quantity of oil so that his body becomes glossy again. Panchagavya Panchamrite Snan Karaya Mahasnana Karaila Shataghatadina. First, after the first bathing, further bathings were conducted with Panchagavya. Panchagavya are milk, yogurt, ghee, cow urine, and cow dung. All these things that come from the cow are called Panchagavya. So then after that, Panchamrita was given. Panchamrit consists of yogurt, milk, ghee, honey, and sugar. So first Panchagavya, then Panchamrit, then more waters were brought, close to 100 pots, and then it was offered to the deity, and the deity was cleaned. After that, oil bath was given to him, and then again more waters were brought, and after giving the oil, the body was cleaned with more water. Now this time, the last bathing ceremony was performed with scented water kept within a conch shell. Here it says, in his commentary on this occasion, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur quotes from Hari Bhakti Vilas, barley powder, wheat powder, vermilion powder, urad dal powder, and another powder preparation called avata made by mixing banana powder and ground rice are applied to deity's body with a brush made from the hair at the end of a cow's tail. This produces a nice finish. The oil smeared over the body of the deity should be scented, and to perform the Mahasnan, at least 2.5 manas, that is 24 gallons of water, are needed to pour over the body of the deity. After the body was cleansed, the deity was now dressed in beautiful new garments. And then sandalwood paste was applied. Tulsi garlands and other flower garlands were given to the deity. And after the bathing ceremony was finished, incense and lamps were burned, and all kinds of food were now offered before the deity. These foods included yogurt, milk, and as many as sweetmeats. All the villagers had got. It was like a good potluck dinner, potluck prasadam over there. Then, after the prasadam was done, then there were pots of scented water brought for drinking for the deity. Then there was pots of water from washing the mouth. And finally, pan, bitter leaves were brought, which were mixed with variety of spices. And after the last offering of tambul and pan, then bhoga was performed, bhoga arti, and finally everybody fall flat. They offered their obeisances to the deity in full surrender. As soon as the people of the village had understood that the deity was going to be installed, they had brought entire stocks of rice, dal, and wheat flour. They brought such large quantities that the entire surface of the top of the hill was filled. When the villagers brought their stock of rice, dal, and flour, the potters also brought a lot of cooking pots. And in the morning, the cooking began. 10 brahmanas were employed to start the cooking. 10 brahmanas were cooking the food grains, because the entire village will eat now. 5 brahmanas cooked both dry and liquid vegetables. The vegetable preparations were prepared from spinach, roots, fruits collected from the forest, and someone made bada and badi by mashing dal. In this way, the brahmanas prepared all kind of foods. 5 to 7 men had to prepare a huge quantity of chapatis, which were sufficiently covered with ghee, as were all the vegetables, rice, and dal. All the cooked rice was stacked upon palasha leaves, which were on new clothes spread over the ground. Around the stack of cooked rice were stacks of chapatis, and all the vegetables and liquid vegetable preparations were placed in different pots and put around them. Pots of yogurt, milk, buttermilk, shikharani, sweet rice, cream, and solid cream were all placed along the vegetables. Now, this ceremony where so much food is offered to the deity is called Annakut. Even today, we do this Annakut festival. So the similar processes are followed. Now, all this food is offered and then it is given as prasadam. In this way, the Annakut ceremony was performed and Sri Madhavendra Puri personally offered everything to Gopal. Many water pots were filled with scented water for drinking, and Lord Sri Gopala, who had been hungry for many days, ate everything offered to him. Although Sri Gopala ate everything, still, by the touch of his transcendental hand, everything remained as before. How Gopala ate everything, while the food remained the same, was transcendently perceived by Madhavendra Puri Goswami. Nothing remains a secret to the devotee of the Lord. The wonderful festival, Annakut ceremony, and the installation of Gopalaji was arranged in one day. Certainly, it's not easy. This was accomplished because the Lord wanted it. It was accomplished by the potency of Gopal. No one but a devotee can understand this. Madhavendra Puri offered water to Gopal for washing his mouth, and he gave him betel nuts to chew. And then while Aarti was performed, all the people were chanting, Jaya, Jaya, Gopala. Arranging for the Lord's rest, after everything was done, now Lord has to rest. So Madhavendra Puri brought a new cot, and on that cot he spread a nice bed shade and then made the bed ready. Temporary temple was constructed and covering the bed all around with straw mattresses. Thus, there was a bed and a straw mattress to cover it. After the Lord was laid down to rest on the bed, Madhavendra Puri gathered all the brahmanas who had prepared the prasadam and said to them, now go and feed everyone sumptuously, from children all the way up to the aged. All the people gathered down to honor the prasadam, and by they took food. All the brahmanas and their wives were fed first. Those who took prasadam included not only the people of Govardhan village, but also the neighboring villages. Everybody came to see the deity of Gopala, and everybody took prasadam. Seeing the influence of Madhavendra Puri, the people gathered there and they were struck with wonder. They saw that Annakutta ceremony, which had been performed before the time of Krishna, was now being done again by the mercy of Sri Madhavendra Puri. All the brahmanas present on the occasion were initiated by Sri Madhavendra Puri into Vaishnava cult, and Madhavendra Puri engaged them in different type of services. पुनदीन शेषे प्रभु करैला उत्थान किच्चु भोग लगाइला करैला जलपान. So that day was over. DT was installed, Annakut done, Prasadam done, and then Bhagwan is sleeping. Then again morning happens. So this is all the system. Morning happens, then you have to wake up Bhagwan again. So Madhavendra Puri immediately got up in the morning and woke up the deity with some beautiful bhajans, and then took the Bala Bhog, some food, some water, gave it to him in the morning. Gopala prakata haila, deshe shabda haila, asha pasha gramera, loka dekhite aila. Everybody now, the word had spread like fire. Oh, Gopal deity had come out from these bushes. He was installed in on the Govardhan hill. Everybody started coming there. And whoever came in to see Gopal deity, they would go and meet Madhavendra Puri. And one village after, and everybody wanted to do the Annakut now, all the villages. So Madhavendra Puri allotted every village to do the Annakut festival. Thus, day after day, the Annakut ceremony was performed for some time. Sri Madhavendra Puri did not eat throughout the day, but at night, after laying down the deity to rest, he took some milk preparations. The next morning, again the same starts. The deity service of the deity starts. The people start coming. Again one Annakut. So almost every day for many days, till all the villagers, continued. This Annakut went on, and they would bring milk and yogurt and ghee and food grains and vegetables and fruits, everything. The next day, almost as before, there was an Annakut ceremony. All the Brahmanas, same way, prepared food, and Gopal accepted them. The ideal place to execute this Preeti, Sahaj Preeti, natural, spontaneous love of Godhead. Vrajavasi lokera, Krishna Sahaja Preeti, Gopalera Sahaj Preeti, Vrajavase Prati. When Gopality has been installed, all the Vrajavasis have a natural affection towards Gopal. And similarly, Gopal also has natural affection towards the Vrajavasis. And this was seen here in the installation ceremony. Throngs of people came from different villages to see this deity of Gopal, and they took Mahaprasadam sumptuously. When they saw the super excellent form of Lord Gopala, all their lamentation and happiness would go away. आसपास व्रज भूमेर यत ग्राम सब एका एक दीने सब करे महोत्सव. In this way, not only the neighboring villages, but all the other provinces. So now the word is going more. So villages were done. Now it went to all the other provinces. They also started coming in with various kind of presentations. And people of Mathura, who are all बड़ा धनी, मथुरा रे लोका सब बड़ा धनी, भक्ति करी नाना द्रव्य भेट दे आनी. Now it was only simple villagers. Now all the people from Mathura who are very rich, all those rich people also started coming. And when the rich people started coming, oh my God, the Annakuttu was at a different level altogether. They would bring so many presentations of gold. Till now it was simple presentations of the villages. Now the presentation is of gold, silver, garments, scented articles, and the store of Gopala increased daily. One time, a Kshatriya came and he saw Gopaliti's temple is not built properly. Then he ordered, okay, let's make a big temple for Gopala. And then the Kshatriya of the royal order constructed a temple. Someone made cooking utensils. They were saying they were making in earthen pots. So now cooking utensils came, and then somebody constructed the boundary walls. Each and every family residing in the land of Brajabhumi contributed one cow. In this way, now thousands of cows came here, and they became the property of Gopala. Eventually, two Brahmanas in the renounced order arrived from Bengal, and Madhavendra Puri liked them very much and kept them in Vrindavan, and they gave them all kind of comforts. Then these two Brahmanas were initiated by Madhavendra Puri, and then Madhavendra Puri trusted them with the daily service of the deity, and this service was performed continuously, and the worship of the deity became very gorgeous. Thus, Madhavendra Puri was very pleased. In this way, the deity worship in the temple was done gorgeously for 2 years. Then one day, Madhavendra Puri had a dream. Again, in his dream, he saw Gopala. Gopala kahe puri amar, tapana hi aya, malaya ja chandan lepa, tab se judaya. So that in the dream, Gopal came and said, Madhavendra, I'm still burning. The body temperature is not decreased yet. Please bring sandalwood from the Malay province and smear the pulp over my body. Then I think I will feel a little cool. Malaya jana yana nila chale haite anya haite nahi tumi chala hatvarite. And he says, I don't want sandalwood from any place. Only place I want sandalwood is from Jagannath Puri. So this Gopal deity is telling, I am still burning. So get me sandalwood paste from Jagannath Puri. Please go quickly. And nobody else can do the work. So you go. So Madhavendra Puri in his dreams gets this order. He gets up in the morning. He becomes very happy. Yet another seva. And in order to execute the command of the Lord, he started towards Bengal. Before leaving, he made all arrangements for the deity worship, and the two Brahman priests were there, so they were taking care. And now he started for Bengal. He came in Bengal and he arrived at the home of Advaitacharya in Shantipura. Advaitacharya saw Madhavendra Puri. He was very happy to to receive him. Advaitacharya told Madhavendra Puri, can you please initiate me? Madhavendra Puri obliged and he said, okay. And he initiated him. And then after that, Madhavendra Puri started towards South India. Going into South India, Sri Madhavendra Puri visited Remuna, where Gopinath is situated. Upon seeing where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is now there. Today, like when we're reading this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Remuna. So he's telling these stories to all the devotees. Why he has come here? Because Madhavendra Puri had come to Remuna, because Madhavendra Puri was given order by Gopala to pick up the thing, but he came here towards South India, and now he was in Remuna, and in Remuna, Gopinath is situated. Madhavendra Puri came to this temple, saw the deity, and he was overwhelmed. In the corridor of the temple, from which people generally viewed the deity, Madhavendra Puri stood there and chanted and danced. Then he sat down there and asked the Brahmana, what kind of foods do they offer to the deity here? सेवारा सौष्ठव देखी आनंदित माने उत्तम भोग लागे एथा बुझी अनुमाने हेची इह भोगा लागे सकल पूछी बा तैचे भी आने भोगा गोपाले लगई बा. He thought, oh, in this Ramuna, in this Gopinath temple, the priests are giving so much nice service. They're offering such nice bhogs. If I just come to know what bhog they are offering, when I do the same puja to my Gopal deity, I will offer the same bhog. So he asked them, please tell me, what are the food that you offer to Sri Gopal? So the Brahmana was very pleased. The priest was very pleased. He replied everything. He said, in the evening, the deity is offered with sweet rice in 12 earthen pots. Because the taste of the sweet rice is so good. We call it as Amrita Keli. गोपीनाथेर क्षीर बलि प्रसिद्ध नाम यार प्रीतिवेते ऐचे भोग कहा नहीं यार. The Brahman said to Madhavendra Puri, this Amrita Keli, what we offer, oh, this is celebrated throughout the world as Gopinath Kheer. And it is not offered anywhere in the else. This is so good. This is so nectarian. While Madhavendra Puri was talking to the Brahmana priest, a sweet rice pot was placed before the devotee, or before the deity as an offering. And here Brahmana is telling, oh, this sweet rice is very unique, not offered anywhere else, and it is full of nectar. And the sweet rice is being offered to the Gopinath deity. Madhavendra Puri looked at it and he thought in his mind, if I could just taste the sweet rice, then I will try to replicate the same recipe for my Lord Gopala. इच्छा लज्जा पाया विष्णु स्मरण कैला हेना काले भोग सारी आरती बजीला. So the food is being offered to Bhagavan, and here he is seeing, and in his mind this thought is coming, I wish I could taste it. And then he feel embarrassed. Oh my God, how did I even think like this? That kheer was made for Gopinath, and look at me, I'm becoming ready to taste that kheer. Oh my God, why did I do that? And immediately he started chanting the name of Vishnu, and he immediately began to think of Lord Vishnu. While he was thus thinking of Lord Vishnu, the offering was completed and the Aarti ceremony began. After the Aarti was done, he bowed down and then he left the temple. He did not say anything to anyone, but whatever was happening in his mind, Gopinath deity, he knew. Madhavendra Puri avoided begging. He was completely unattached and indifferent to material things. If without his begging, someone offered him food, he would eat, otherwise he would not eat. A Paramahansa like Madhavendra Puri is always satisfied in the loving service of the Lord. Material hunger and thirst cannot impede his activities. When he desired to taste that little sweet rice, he thought, I committed an offense today. But it was not for him. He was thinking, if I can taste and if I can make the same prasad. But that night he was feeling very bad, that why did I desire to eat the prasad which was being offered to the deity. Madhavendra Puri felt a little guilty and he left the temple and sat down in a village marketplace which was vacant. Sitting there, he took out his mala from the bead bag and started chanting. In the meantime, in the temple, the priest did the Shayanarthi. He put Bhagavan to sleep, to rest. Finishing his daily duties, the priest also went to take rest. And then the priest is resting, and Madhavendra Puri is sitting in that some vacant place somewhere and chanting. The priest is just resting, and then Gopinath deity came in the dreams of the priest. And the deity is talking. Utaha pujari, kara dwara vimochana, kshira ek rakhiya che, sannyasi karana. The Gopinath deity in the dream is talking to the priest, saying, get up, wake up. Please go and open the door of the temple. I have hidden one kheer pot, one sweet pot of rice, one pot of sweet rice for that sannyasi who had come. Dhadara chale dhaka ek kshira haya, tomara na janila taha amara mayaya. He said, this pot of sweet rice is just behind my cloth curtain. You did not know it because of my tricks. Madhava Puri sannyasi ache hatite vashina taha keta ek shira shigra dehalaya. And the deity is saying to the priest, get up, I have hidden that pot behind that curtain. You did not know it. Now I am telling you in the dream, please get up, take that pot. And there is a sannyasi named Madhavendra Puri who is sitting in that marketplace. Take this pot of rice from behind me and deliver it to him. The priest got up from the dreams. immediately rose from the bed. And then he thought, how can I enter the temple now? He just immediately took bath, entered the temple, and then opened the door. And then according to the deity's direction, he removed the curtain. And there behind Shri Krishna, Shri Gopinath, he saw the pot. He removed the pot and mopped up the place where it had been kept. And then he went out of the temple. Closing the door of the temple, he went to the village, searching for Madhavendra Puri. Holding the pot in his hand, Chiralahaye yara nama Madhava Puri, Tomalagi Gopinath, Kshira Kaila Churi. He started calling, who is Madhav Puri here? Who is Madhav Puri here? For you, Gopinath has stolen some sweet rice. So come out and please claim your pot of sweet rice. Who is Madhav Puri here? Please come and claim your sweet rice. The priest continued, Shiralaya sukhe tumi karaha bhakshane toma sama bhagyavana nahi tribhuvane. The priest continued, would that sannyasi whose name is Madhavendra Puri please come? Take this pot of sweet rice, enjoy the prasadam with great happiness. You are the most fortunate because for you, Bhagwan Gopinath kept a pot hidden. Hearing this invitation, Madhavendra Puri was busy chanting and then he heard his name. Somebody is calling Madhav Puri, please take the pot of kheer. He's like, oh, who is this? He came there near the priest and priest is like, please, this prasadam, the Lord came in my dreams and told, I have kept it for Madhav Puri. You are very fortunate. I'm so fortunate to see you. Please take this prasadam. This is for you. When Madhavendra Puri took the prasad, he was in tears. All the ecstatic symptoms started coming on from him. The priest is looking at Madhavendra Puri and he's looking at the prasad and they both are looking at the prasad and they don't know what Krishna has done. Why Krishna was so much obliged to him, and he saw that whatever Krishna did was befitting. Krishna got this prasad for me so that I can make the same prasad for him for my Gopala deity in Govardhan. The priest was so happy to see Madhavendra Puri. The priest bowed down to Madhavendra Puri and returned to the temple. And then in ecstasy, Madhavendra Puri was like eating the prasad so happily because it was given by Krishna. Patra prakshalan kari khanda khanda kaila bahirava se bandi se tikari rahila. After this, he ate it and then Madhavendra Puri washed the pot and broke it into pieces. And then he didn't want to leave the pot. He broke the pot into pieces and then he tied it into a cloth and then kept with them because this is a special pot given by Gopinath deity himself. And the pot he used to eat then, each and every day, Pratidina ekka khani karena bhakshana. Every day he used to take that little piece of the pot and eat it every day because it was given by the Lord. And little piece of the pot he would eat and he would become overwhelmed with ecstasy. These are the wonderful stories of Shira Gopala, Shira Chori Gopala. Having broken the pot and bound the pieces in his cloth, Madhavendra Puri began to think, the Lord has given me a pot of sweet rice. And when the people hear of this tomorrow, oh my God, the crowd will start following again. So thinking of this, Madhavendra Puri offered his obeisances to Gopinath on the spot and left Ramuna early in the morning. Walking and walking, Madhavendra Puri finally reached Jaganath Puri, which is also known as Nilachal. There he saw Lord Jagannath and was overwhelmed with ecstasy. When Madhavendra Puri was overwhelmed in ecstasy of love of Godhead, he sometimes stood up and sometimes fell into ground. Sometimes he laughed and danced and sang. In this way, he enjoyed the transcendental bliss. Madhav Puri Sri Padaile Loke Ahila Khyati Sabaloka Setan Re Kare Prabhu Bhakti. When he came to Jagannath Puri, people were knowing it. People were aware of his transcendental reputation. He had already, installed the deity of Gopala, and the Brahmin priests were there. So there were people who knew. And therefore now in Nilachal, the crowd started coming to Madhavendra Puri. Even though one may not like it, reputation as ordained by providence comes to him. Indeed, once transcendental reputation is known throughout the world. He didn't want all this, but it was ordained. But he was always fearful of crowds and being famous. So Madhavendra Puri fled again from Ramuna, but the reputation brought by love of Godhead is so sublime that wherever the devotee goes, this reputation will follow him. Madhavendra Puri wanted to leave Jaganath Puri because so many people started crowding, and because people were honoring him like a great devotee. However, this threatened to hinder his collecting sandalwood for the Gopala deity. He didn't want to forget why he has come here. He has come here for the sandalwood for his Gopala deity in Govardhan. Madhavendra Puri approached all the priests of the Lord Jagannath, and then he told them about the appearance of Sri Gopala. When all the priests heard about, in Jagannath Puri, heard about the Gopala deity, that the Gopala deity wanted sandalwood in great pleasure, they all endeavored to collect it. Rajapatra sane yara 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 parchaya, tare magi karpura chandana karila sanchaya, eka vipra eka sevak chandana vahite, puri gosaira sange dila sambala sahite. So he spoke to all the Jagannath Puri people, devotees, that I want some sandalwood for my Gopala deity in Vrindavan. Please help me. All of them, then they went to the government. Government officers told them the story, got all the permissions, and then one Brahmana, one servant were given to Madhavendra Puri because there was so much sandalwood to be carried all the way till Vrindavan, and they all gave him the necessary travel experiences. There were tolls at different places, so all the paperwork was done properly so that he can go back to Vrindavan with all the sandalwood. In this way, now Madhavendra Puri started for Vrindavan with the burden of sandalwood. After some time, he again came back to Ramuna and the Gopinath temple there. When Madhavendra Puri reached the temple of Gopinath again, he offered his respectful obeisances many times at the lotus feet of the Lord. In ecstasy of love, he began to dance and sing. Gopinath deity is there. Madhavendra Puri is there. And the sandalwood is also there. Gopinath deity, the priest saw Madhavendra Puri come back again. The priest was very happy. And priest now this time by himself, he got out one pot of sweet rice, and he gave him the prasadam to eat. Madhavendra Puri that night took rest in the temple. But towards the end of the night, he's sleeping in the temple. Gopinath deity, he has to come in the dream. And he came. But I came as Gopal. Gopal came before him and said, "Oh Madhavendra Puri, I have already received all the sandalwood and camphor. So now just grind all the sandalwood and the camphor and smear the pulp on the body of Gopinath until it is finished." So he had taken all the sandalwood to go to Vrindavan. He took a break in Ramuna. And now Gopal comes and says, "I have received it. Now go and make all the paste and put it on the deity of Gopinath." There is no difference between my body and Gopinath's body. They are one and the same. Therefore, if you smear this pulp on the body of Gopinath, you will naturally also be smearing it on me. Thus, the temperature of my body will be reduced. You should not hesitate to act according to my order. Believing in me, just do as is told to you. After giving these instructions, Gopal disappeared. Madhavendra Puri awoke from his dreams. He was like, "Okay, this is the order now. So let us start making the pulp and then smear the body of Gopinath with this camphor and sandalwood. I brought for Gopala. but do this regularly every day. He instructed the priests of the temple, if the sandalwood pulp is smeared over the body of Gopinath, then Gopala will also be cooled. After all, Supreme Personality of Godhead is completely independent. His order is all powerful. The servants of Gopinath, all the priests were very happy, very pleased to hear that in the summer, all the sandalwood pulp will be used to anoint the body of Gopinath. Puri kahe ehi dui, kasi be chandana, arajana dui dehi, dibe ye betana. Madhavendra Puri said, these two assistants I have, I am keeping them here. They will regularly assist you in grinding the sandalwood, and you should also get some more 2 other people, and I will take care of their salaries. So don't worry. This so much of sandalwood is there. Entire summer season, this sandalwood paste has to be given to the Gopinath deity. In this way, Gopinath ji was supplied ground sandalwood pulp daily, and the servants were very pleased with this. Madhavendra Puri stayed there until that time, till the stock was finished. Then, when the summer was over, Madhavendra Puri returned to Jagannath, where he remained with great pleasure during the whole period of Chaturmasi. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu praised the nectarian characteristics of Madhavendra Puri while he related it to the devotees he personally related. So just imagine Ramuna temple, Gopinath temple, where all of this had happened in the past. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is thinking himself, he is himself relishing, and then he's telling it all to all the devotees. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Nityanand Prabhu to judge. He asked, do you think anybody is more fortunate than Madhavendra Puri? How many times Gopala himself comes and tells him, first he comes as a small boy, gives him a pot of milk, and then he tells him, please take me out from the bushes. Then he sends him to Jaganath Puri. Then he gives him the pot of kheer. Then he instructs him for smearing the sandalwood pulp. Who on earth will be more fortunate than Madhavendra Puri? Oh, Nityananda, do you think anybody is? He is such a liberated soul. Not only he liberated himself, he liberated the entire world. On account of Madhavendra Puri, Lord Gopinath stole the pot of sweet rice. Thus, Gopinath is now known as Kshira Chora Gopinath, because every time you call him Kshira Chora, every time you call him Kheer Chora, people will know, oh, this is Madhavendra Puri. He stole the kheer for Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri smeared the sandalwood pulp over the body of Gopinath, and while he was smearing it, he was overpowered with the love of God. In the provinces of India, governed by Muslims, there was such inconvenience in traveling with sandalwood. And probably Gopal saw that, the deity. And Gopal deity thought that my devotee, Madhavendra Puri, might be in trouble, might get into trouble because of this. So it's okay. Let him just give that to Gopinath. And that's why Lord is so merciful, and he's attached to his devotees. So when Gopinath was covered with sandalwood, Madhavendra Puri's labor became successful. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, Sri Madhavendra Puri used to remain alone. He was completely renounced and always very silent. He was uninterested in anything material, and for fear of talking mundane things, he always lived without a companion. After receiving the transcendental orders of Gopala, this great personality traveled thousands of miles to collect sandalwood. Although Madhavendra Puri was hungry, he would not beg for food. This renounced person carried a load of sandalwood for the sake of Sri Gopala. Without considering his personal comforts, Madhavendra Puri carried one mound that is about 82 pounds, which is close to around 40 kgs of sandalwood, and 20 tolas, about 8 ounces of camphor, to smear over the body of Gopala. This transcendental pleasure was sufficient for him, since there were restrictions against taking the sandalwood out of Orissa province. The toll official confiscated the stock, but Madhavendra Puri showed him the release papers given by the government and consequently escaped difficulties. Madhavendra Puri was not anxious at all during the long journey to Vrindavan through the provinces governed by the Muslims and filled with unlimited numbers of watchmen. Although Madhavendra Puri did not have a single farthing with him, he was not afraid to pass by the toll officers. His only enjoyment was in carrying the load of sandalwood to Vrindavan for Gopala. This is the nature of intense love for Godhead. The devotee does not consider his impersonal inconveniences. In all circumstances, he wants to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Gopala wanted to show how intensely Madhavendra Puri loved Krishna, and therefore he sent him to Nilachal to fetch sandalwood and camphor. With great trouble and after much labor, Madhavendra Puri brought the load of sandalwood to Ramuna. However, he was still very pleased. He discounted all the difficulties. To test the intense love of Madhavendra Puri, Gopal, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, ordered him to bring sandalwood from Nilachal. And when Madhavendra Puri passed this examination, the Lord became very merciful to him. Such behavior exhibited in loving service between the devotee and the devotee's lovable object, Sri Krishna, is transcendental. It is not possible for a common man to understand. Common man do not have even the capacity. Ei bhakti bhakta priya Krishna vyavhara bujito ami sabara nahi adhikar. We all cannot understand. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu read the famous verse of Madhavendra Puri in this mood. That verse is just like a moon. It spreads illumination all over the world. घसीते घसीते येचे मलय जसार गंध बाळे तैची येई श्लोकेर विचार रत्नगण मध्ये येचे कौस्तुभमणी रस काव्य मध्ये तैची येई श्लोकगणी. Continuous rubbing increases the aroma of Malay sandalwood. Similarly, considering this verse increases one's understanding of its importance. As the Kaustubh is considered the most precious of valuable stones, this verse is similarly considered the best of poems dealing with the mellows of devotional service. This verse was spoken by Radharani herself. By her mercy, it was manifested in Madhavendra Puri. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has tasted the poetry of this verse. No other person is able to understand it. Madhavendra Puri recited this verse again and again at the end of his material existence. Thus, uttering the verse, he attained the ultimate goal of life. And the verse was, Ai dina dayardanath he, Mathura nath kadavalokayase, Hridayam tvadalokakataram, Dayata brahmayati kim karomyaham. Madhavendra Puri used to repeat this shloka again and again till the end of his life. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, oh my most merciful Master, oh Master of Mathura, when will I see you again? Because of my not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady. Oh most beloved one, what shall I do now? What shall I do now? So this was a slok by Radharani. Madhavendra Puri would repeat this again and again. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling the story. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited this verse. And when he recited the verse, of course, he is Radharani. He immediately felt unconscious. And he was overwhelmed and had no control over himself. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell to the ground in his ecstatic state, Nityanand Prabhu took him up on his lap. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was crying. He got up again. Exhibiting ecstatic emotions, the Lord began to run here and there, making resounding sound noises. Sometimes he laughed, sometimes he cried, sometimes he danced, sometimes he sang. And again he would try to repeat the words, but only the first word would come. Aidina, 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 Bale Bara Bara, Kantena nihasane vani netra asudhara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to say the word again and again, but only the first two words would come, Aedin, Aedin. And after that, he could not speak and profuse tears would just flow through his eyes. He would start trembling, perspiration, jubilant tears, shock, fading of the bodily luster, disappointment, moroseness, loss of memory, pride, joy, and humility. Everything was visible in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body. This verse uncovered the door of ecstatic love, and when it was exhibited, the servants of Gopinath saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in ecstasy. When many people crowded around Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came back to his external senses. In the meantime, the offerings to the deity was finished, and there was a resounding arati. And when the deities were laid down to rest, the priest came out of the temple and brought 12 pots of sweet rice for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the devotees there as prasadam. When all the pots of sweet rice, remnants left by Gopinath, were placed before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became very pleased. In order to feed the devotees, he accepted 5 of them. The 7 remaining pots were pushed forward and delivered to the priest. Then the 5 pots of sweet rice the Lord had accepted were distributed among the 5 devotees, and they ate the prasadam. Being identical with Gopinath deity, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already tasted and eaten the pots of sweet rice. Yet, just to manifest devotional service, he again ate the pots of sweet rice as a devotee. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed that night at the temple, engaged in Sankirtan. In the morning, after seeing the Mangalarti performance, he departed. In this way, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally tasted from his own mouth the transcendental qualities of Gopalji, Gopinath, and Sri Madhavendra Puri. Thus, I have described both the transcendental glories of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's affection for his devotees and the highest limit of ecstatic love of Godhead. One, now he's giving us the blessings. One who hears this narration with faith and devotion attains the treasure of love of Godhead and the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Pade Yara Asa Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishnadas. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, 4th chapter describing Sri Madhavendra Puri's devotional service. So we ended up 4th chapter, Shira Chora Gopala ki jai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Madhavendra Prabhu ki jai, and Govardhan Girdhari Sri Gopala ki jai. So Monday, we are going to hear another story of Sakshi Gopal. That also is a very wonderful narration. All these deities are there. If you go to this tour of Jaganath Puri, you can go and visit these deities also. So may your day and night be Chaitanyamay, and we'll see you on Monday. No comments today, so we'll see you. Radhe Radhe, Jai Shri Krishna.